what's up, y'all?
What's up,
Bringing
guys?
you a vlog on budget rear-wheel drive Mopars.
For those who want to get into the racing game, or
Don't have a lot of money.
don't have a lot of money, or just want to play around, do burnouts all day.
So, whenever it comes to rear-wheel drive cars, everybody has something different in mind with what they want to do with the car. So, I think it comes down to what I'm going to classify as philosophy of use. Do you just want to do burnouts? Do you just want rear-wheel drive V8 status? Do you want a race car? You know, and we're going to give you some examples of things that fit into each one of these criteria. So we'll start with A-body Mopars from the mid-70s.
Yeah.
Came with 318s, probably 360s, and rare commodity is 340s, which are probably going to be a little bit more money, so they don't really count.
No. Even the best ways goes your slant 6 ones.
Yeah, because they can easily be converted to V8 cars. And we're going to lump them into cars that are easily converted, essentially just bolt-in applications to make them rear-wheel drive. You got Darts, Demons, Scamps,
Pretty much
Valiants.
anything with a slant 6, because even if when you get into the later models, even when you venture out of A-bodies, everything that came with a slant 6, you can just convert it to a V8 by simply buying a set of Schumacher racing mounts.
I've done it.
$100 bucks or something?
And they were $150. We did it on my brother's Demon. He had a 72. No, his Demon's a 71. It was a slant 6 car, and literally everything worked except for, like, we put a Dakota radiator in it, and we use Schumacher mounts, and obviously you need a 318 and a 904 that's going to bolt up to the 318, because you just got to match up the transmission so that the cross member is the same and everything, and the drive shaft's the same. I think a category that's probably just going to go from the 60s into forever are Dodge trucks.
Yeah.
Two-wheel drive Dodge trucks. I mean, people are more and more these days, the muscle truck is becoming
It's becoming a thing.
Yeah, it's like its own little culture, you know?
Because the older you go, most of these trucks had a bolt-in 8 3/4 rear end. That's what basically everybody uses for drag racing anyway, because they're easy to change out.
I've seen a bunch of them with 4-speeds on Facebook too. Reasonable.
Yeah.
$1,500, $2,000, you know, 318 with 4-speeds in them, and nobody wants them up here in PA because, you know, they're not 4-wheel drive. But if you're looking for something that's going to scoot, you can make a 12-second truck.
Yeah.
There's 360 in it, 4-speed, no problem.
And you can even find those trucks like mid-70s with 400s or 440s.
Yeah.
The thing about those motors is they're low compression. If you want to put boost on them, you can put boost on them, no problem. That's what a lot of people do. I saw a truck, it had a 400 in it. It had freaking twin turbos hooking to the carburetor. Actually saw it up a show in Wexford. It was a pretty wicked truck.
Now, if you have enough know-how and the tools to do it, that can be considered a budget build. Turbo and forced induction doesn't immediately mean expensive. There's plenty of turbochargers on eBay and in junkyards that can be adapted if you have the know-how. Me personally, I don't, but maybe some of you out there do. And if you don't want to do that, a naturally aspirated application isn't very expensive at all.
No.
Shot peen your rods, reuse your cast crank, because I mean you're not going to be putting out 1,000 horsepower. Get some good pistons for it from like Keith Black or something for a few $100, and you know you probably got yourself 350, 400 horsepower depending on your heads.
Yeah.
So Dodge trucks, viable option. Since we're on Dodge trucks, Dodge Dakotas.
Yeah,
the
anything
lighter
from 87 to, I mean, even 99, 2000, till they started going to the round bodies.
Yep.
Any of
they're
those.
all, man, you can get, if you're looking race car, like
Race vehicle.
I don't know if you can go cheaper than a Dodge Dakota.
You really can. I mean, there's one on Craigslist right now. I don't know if you've seen that one for $1,000. It already had it. It already was tubbed and ready to go.
Yeah, I saw
that blue one.
I saw it. Yeah, dude, there was one. They wanted like $400 for it. It was a 6-cylinder car, and the motor was blown up, which you're not going to use the 6-cylinder anyway. And all that, what is that, 3.9 liter?
Yeah.
It's just a 318 with 2 cylinders coming.
That's what I was going to say. One thing about that is they use the same exact mounts. You can literally bolt in a 318, no problem. And I think you can use the same tranny too. You just have to use a different torque converter.
Yep. I mean, and again, if you're racing, guys, I mean, take everything that we say that we're coming from different points
Different
of view.
angles.
Yeah, different angles with this, because if you're going to race it, probably going to want to go with some hardened internals on a 904 or a 727.
Yeah, you do not want to run your overdrive from your Dakota into a motor with power. That thing will shatter like no tomorrow.
So yeah, so something to consider. But if you're just looking for a truck to maybe do the occasional burnout and sound mean, then you can probably get by with that. It all comes down to what you want to do with the car. But I mean, as far as race car, you got a full frame.
Yeah.
I mean, how easy is it to tub out a Dakota?
It's very easy.
Like,
You're just cutting out the bed.
Yeah, you just cut out the bed, put wheel tubs in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and you may, if you're real lucky, either come with a decent rear end if you come across an RT, or if you're able to go into a junkyard and get one that pretty much bolts right up Dana 60.
I mean, hell, even the 8 1/4s are pretty strong.
They're actually, yeah, they're pretty stout. Even an 8 1/4. It takes more to blow them up than people give them credit for.
It was the 7 1/4s Chrysler had a lot of problems with. The 8 1/4s aren't bad.
7 1/4s were just, I call them glass rear ends because they shatter like it.
Oh yeah, I blew one of those out already.
So another option is a Dakota.
We're staying in 70s for right now. We can start with F-body. F-body's going to be your Valaris and Aspens.
Yeah, completely forgot Valaris and Aspens.
I mean, you can get those, literally, you can get them in any style you want, 2-door, 4-door, or wagon.
Aspens were never really fast. They had fast-looking stripe packages on them with the RT. They came with a 360 in some of them, but they were never like truly like fast cars. And a lot of people need to get past that, because my Dart runs 11s, and it was a 318 car that probably would have ran a 22nd quarter mile whenever I got it. It just wasn't a fast car, but that doesn't mean you can't make it fast.
And another thing about them is, they're pretty much basically your Darts. They share a lot of parts off an 8-body Mopar. They have front disc brakes already. They have rear drums.
That's a good point.
You can easily go get yourself, and I know this from experience, any B-body 8 3/4 rear end out of a like mid to late 60s and 1970 B-body like satellite will bolt right up to that Aspen. It's literally the same wheelbase, the same length. They'll bolt right up to the lease breeze himself.
What about the we're saying in the late 70s? What were the real long? They were like they called them road runners, but they weren't road. They're not like a 60s road.
Well, yeah, it was they had from 76 to 79 they had the Valari Roadrunner. And
but then they also had the it was like a Magnum. It looked like a Dodge Magnum.
1975 it was Plymouth Fury. It was based off of Plymouth Fury, but they called it a 75 Roadrunner. This was literally the mutt of the Roadrunners. Right? Yeah, the Charger was the same thing. And then when the Fury
they were still
vanished,
nice looking cars.
Yeah.
They came with big blocks, and you know what, man? I saw a Magnum. I saw a Magnum that was just sitting in a garage in primer for $500.
Yeah,
because they're like, some people call them the ugly ducklings, but me growing up in like the 90s, like any car from the 70s to me, I consider like kind of cool. So
yeah. Well, the thing is, the Magnum, they only made the Magnum for 2 years. The Magnum was the same as the Cordoba, the 78 and 79 Cordoba. Cordoba did start in 75 also. So literally, you had in 1975, you had the Charger, the Fury, and the Cordoba. They were all basically the same platform. When these cars came out, it was rear-wheel drive, usually came with a big block, and they were just cruisers. They were just comfortable. But the thing is, you strip all that weight out. You put a bigger rear end underneath it with better gears.
I mean, dude, they got Hellcats 4,500 pounds running 9s.
Yeah.
If you have the know-how, you can make it respectable.
Oh yeah,
there's no doubt.
And even if you just want to throw a cam in it, sound cool and ride around, cams for 400s and 440s aren't that expensive.
Those cars will do burnouts all day because they have a ton of torque still.
Oh, exactly.
They're still putting out well over 300 foot-pound of torque. So.
And when you get into 78 and 79, they're the same body style. There's a little bit of front fascia differences on both. They got rid of the Charger in 78, went to the Magnum, and then the Cordobas changed front ends. When you go into the 78 and 79, you're basically dealing with small blocks mostly. You're not going to find a big block that much anymore because the emissions BS is kicking over.
So we're stepping into the 80s again. You got them Dakotas chilling in the 80s. You got like your style Cordoba.
You got your J bodies. which is the Cordova Imperial and Murata, which is going to be more of the Murata and Cordova because the Imperials were fuel injected, all electric, had a lot of issues. A lot of people just scrapped them.
So you can have those. You're also going to have the Dodge Diplomats.
Yeah.
4-door burnouts, baby.
Four-door
cop car.
You'll have the Diplomats, the Grand Furies, and the New Yorkers. That's Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge.
So, and you know what? They actually made some of them in 2-door.
I do remember that, but
they look cool. You know what they look like? They look like a Regal, sort of.
Yeah.
They remind me of like a Regal, but more badass because they're a Mopar. So the bad part about Mopars is once you get into the 90s, you start to really delve into the dark ages of Mopar. You really do, man, because like you have to figure like the 80s at least had like the Shelby turbo cars and stuff for performance. And they were developing the Viper in '89, so they were like, Dodge was like, okay, man, we need like a performance, a rear-wheel drive one. But the '90s were just hot garbage. I mean, they really were. You get into like the Stratus and the Intrepid, and you know, the only up until like '94, the only thing that you had from '90 to '94 was the Daytonas.
Yeah.
And probably a handful of other turbo cars like the Shadows and pretty much anything front-wheel drive that Chrysler could stuff it in. And those cars are good in their own right, don't get me wrong. But if you're like a rear-wheel drive V8 guy, you're screwed. There's nothing in the 90s.
The 90s, the only rear-wheel drive car Chrysler made was the Viper. And, that's rear-wheel drive V10.
The only other thing you can get are you're looking at trucks.
Yeah.
The Dakota.
Find a single cab short bed D100, or what they called them, the D150s at that point. You could get into those, or you could get into the Dakotas, like Bill said.
And that was about it. But I mean, there's a lot of potential to be had. I see Dakotas and they fly at the track.
Oh, 90s, like I said, the 90s were a real rough time, and same with the early 2000s with Chrysler.
Yeah, they weren't much better. Not until the Magnum and the Charger.
Chrysler 300. That came out in
04.
Was it 04?
Oh, yeah, because my mom had the first one on Rotola's lot.
Yeah.
They had. It was a 2004. She got it with the 3.9 or whatever.
Some sort of V, yeah.
It was a Mitsubishi V6. It ran good. I mean, it was like 200-something horsepower. It was all right. Another thing we didn't bring up is C bodies from the 70s. 300s, Newports, stuff like that.
The big boats.
Big boats. Yeah, but they're cheap.
Oh,
you know what my favorite C body is? Is a 66 Grand Fury with the 4 headlights.
Oh yeah.
That car looks bad, dude. Like I would own one of those, and like that I would run it as a street car and put like a nasty big block in it.
Yeah.
Because it looks kind of like a GTO, and I do have a soft spot for the 4 headlight GTOs. Because I always liked that front end, and then I saw that Fury, and I'm like, yeah, that's the best looking Fury they make, in my opinion. So that is our list of budget Mopar rear wheel drive V8. Tell us what you think. Tell us what we missed. Let us know your favorite rear wheel drive V8 Mopar, and click the subscribe button. And like this video for more awesome county line vlogs that we drive around in my Challenger with dome lights on because it's too dark outside.
It happens.
All right, guys, until next time, it's Bill.
It's Roger.
It's County Line Racing.